Hello, students and parents. My name is Jason Horn. I'm the principal of Tennessee Online Public School. And for your benefit, those of you who missed the orientation face to face, I'm recording this video for veteran parents and students. It might be just a good refresher about things. So, without further ado, let's get started. On the right foot. Here's our agenda. We'll talk about TOPS history. I'll introduce myself and some other people, talk about policies, procedures, how to be successful, parent involvement, technology questions, and we don't really get a meet and greet or answer questions. You can just email me your questions. So the history of TOPS, we were started in 2012. That was our first school year by Bristol, Tennessee City Schools. We had 40 students when we started out, and right now we're about 230. All of our courses are designed and taught by certified Tennessee teachers. We don't have any third-party courses that were designed by somebody else, except for Bridge Math, and that's run through the state. And pretty much all high schools in Tennessee run that same Bridge Math class. We are the top performing virtual school in Tennessee, and we're very proud of the students and teachers who have made that a reality. So let's talk about who we are. First of all, there's me. I'm Jason Horn. I'm from Gray, Tennessee originally. That's right in between Kingsport and Johnson City, Tennessee, and upper northeast Tennessee. And I am a graduate of Daniel Boone High School and ETSU, East Tennessee State University, for all of my degrees. You'll see me pictured here with my lovely wife, Lori, and family, Weston, Kelsey, and Henry. And I've been principal of TOPS since the very beginning, since 2012. Other staff members at TOPS that you might need to know are our counselor, Ms. Settlemeyer, who I'll introduce here in a second, an administrative assistant who is yet to be named because our current administrative assistant, Allie Trivet, is moving, and our new special education person, Hope Penley, who you will be meeting soon if you have an IEP. Let me introduce Miss Miss Keisha Settlemeyer. She is our counselor, our school counselor, and she does a lot of different things. She is from Seymour, Tennessee, but lives currently near Bristol. And her goal, as it says, is to help support and motivate students to achieve academic, career, and personal success. So what she does is help students navigate future goals, prepare for college and career, particularly exploring careers out there, dual enrollment, 4-year planning, transcript requests, help students with problem solving, decision making, and coping skills. She does some community and outreach resources, and most importantly, Ms. Settlemeyer will listen if students have something they need to talk about. So Ms. Settlemeyer is a counselor in the traditional sense of a what we used to call a guidance counselor, but she's also a counselor in the, clinical sense of being a counselor. Mr. Lamy is our full-time math person at Tennessee Online Public School at TOPS. Mr. Lamy is from Bristol, Virginia originally, and he was at Tennessee High School and some other places before he came to TOPS, and he has been our math teacher now. This is his 3rd year of that. And one of the other classes he teaches is called Freshman Experience, and it's to build computer skills, good work habits. It forces students to communicate with one another so they can get to know each other, and there's something in there about fluffy unicorns that his children made him post. And who doesn't like fluffy unicorns? One of the things that Mr. Lamy insists is that our logo says log in and learn, and this is exactly kind of the opposite of what we want our school to be. We don't want it to be just log in and learn. We want to develop young people as socially and help people have the confidence and the capacity to go out there after high school and look somebody in the eye, shake their hand, and talk to them and be successful. At TOPS, we do something a little bit different with our math that some school systems in Tennessee are starting to do, and that's instead of using doing Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and geometry as separate classes. We do an integrated approach where algebra and algebraic and geometric concepts are taught together when it applies. So we have Math 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, and 3B to cover those classes. In addition, we have some upper level math, probability and statistics, bridge math, and advanced algebra and trig. Our full-time English teacher at TOPS is Carrie Eubanks, and there she is with her husband and then her 3 dogs. Miss Eubanks has been at TOPS since the very beginning and is one of the founding members, or one of the founding employees of TOPS, helping it be everything that it is today. Miss Eubanks teaches English 1, 3, 4, and creative writing. Also having been with TOPS since the very beginning is Lindsay Whedon. She's our full-time social studies teacher and also our testing coordinator. She is an ETSU graduate and also currently pursuing an administration license at ETSU. Lindsay teaches government, economics, U.S. history, and world history. And she can also answer all of your questions about state testing. Just to cover our graduation requirements at TOPS, you can see that you're responsible for 4 credits in English, and that's the courses are English 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 math credits, and those classes are 1B, 2B, and 3B. The A parts of those classes count as elective credit. Also, you need a 4th math, and the state of Tennessee requires students to take 1 math every single year. So you have to take one your freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, then senior year. You are required to take 3 lab sciences, and you are required to take 3 social studies, and that must include U.S. history, government, economics, and world history. Personal finance, the state only requires a half credit. We don't do half credit, so we require a full credit of personal finance. Similarly for wellness and PE, the state requires a credit and a half. We require 2 full credits because we don't do half credits. If you're going to go straight to a 4-year university, you have to take foreign language 1 and 2 of one particular language, so 2 credits, and a fine art, of which we only offer art 1 right now as a fine art credit, even though we do have levels 2, 3, and 4 of that class. And then electives, you must have 3, which you would get if you took Math 1A, Math 2A, and Math 3A, which everyone will. And you must also select a specific program of study, and that's 3 electives in a specific strand. Those are math and science, humanities, fine art, and also on the CTE side, we have web design, programming, and networking. The ACT must be taken in your junior year, so if you're hearing this and you're a junior, I would go ahead and look at registering for the April ACT. So let's talk about policies. One of the things you need to know is what's required of you at TOPS. The first one we're going to talk about is our attendance policy, and it's not confusing, but it is the one that you need to pay attention really to understand because it's unique to our school. Your attendance is derived from your work. So what will happen is every single week you will have a certain number of assignments posted in every single class. Those assignments are posted on Saturday and they're due on Friday by midnight in your time zone. Based on the amount of work you get done, you either have perfect attendance or you do not. For example, if you're in Algebra 1A and you have 5 assignments to do, if you do 4 of them, you miss 1 day in that class. If you do 3, you miss 2 days. My expectation is that every student has perfect attendance every single week because that just means that you did all of your work. If you turn in work late, you can still turn it in, but the absences will remain. And if you have a valid excuse for not turning in your work, it can be excused with proper documentation. Now, the consequences for attendance are fairly severe. If you get 5 days absent in any class, you are sent a letter home that will tell you that you are truant and that any further absences will have severe consequences. If you reach 10 unexcused absences, there will be a letter sent home to you, and also a letter sent to the state Homeland Security Department that by law we have to send that to them, and they pull your driver's license. Once you get to 15 unexcused absences, then you are summoned to court, and then we talk about whether you need to remain at TOPS or not, because if you're missing that many days, you're not doing work, you're failing out of your classes, it may be perhaps that you're just not cut out to do online school, which not everyone is. The math department has their own attendance policy that mirrors this one with the caveat that you must score 50 or higher on an assignment to receive attendance credit on it. The reason this policy is in place is to, frankly, make students try their hardest in math. 50 is not setting the bar very high, but at least is making sure that the students give an effort, and this is over years of trying to help students be better at math. The other caveat is that in the Part B of Math 1, 2, and 3, if you have get 5 absences, you have 2 weeks to bring your grade up to a C average. Otherwise, you'll be put back into Part A. The reason we have that is that if students barely squeaked by in Part A and they're flunking out of Part B, then we want to put them back in Part A so that they can shore up those skills. That way, Part B is not as difficult for them. So what happens if you fall behind? Well, that happens to some students sometimes, and frankly, we haven't had much success in getting students caught back up. One of the common responses to getting behind by students isn't to work hard and get caught back up, which is what it should be. It has often been to get overwhelmed and to do what we call turtling, which is avoid everything altogether. So when a student gets behind, we have started putting them on a BIP, or a behavior intervention plan. A behavior intervention, or a BIP, is the intervention plan that will help students. It offers supports to help students be successful. For example, we will give you a schedule to keep during the week for all of your classes. We'll work with you to come up with that. We will require you to attend teachers' office hours every week because typically we found that students that are behind or are flunking out are not attending office hours. And then we will keep track of your progress, and once you're passing again and everything, we will take you off the plan as long as you haven't missed any further days. If you don't comply with the plan at all, and the trend continues that you're not doing well, then we have a conversation about whether you're willing to do what it takes to be successful in online school. Other policies are plagiarism, and that's academic honesty. That's when you copy someone else's work, another student, or that's also when you copy something off of Wikipedia, off the internet, or something like that. And that's very serious because we have to trust you that you are doing your own work. And students often do this not because they're mean or bad people or something like that, but students often do this because they get desperate and do not want an absence, or their parents have threatened them with punishments for not getting their work turned in, and so this is a quick way to get their work done. We catch it every time, and the first offense is you get a 0 for whatever the assignment is, and it doesn't matter how important or how insignificant the assignment is, you get a 0, and then you and I will have a principal. I will not bring your parents into it the first time. The second time I will, and have a conference with you and your parent. And if it happens a third time, then you have a hearing about whether you should be in online school or not. And I'm sorry that phrase keeps coming up, but it is a privilege to be here, and so we take it very seriously. And if we have students that we're not sure are doing their own work, it is our duty to make sure that they are not in an environment where they can do that. One of the requirements for being at TOPS is to do service learning. Students are required to earn 24 hours of service learning per school year. The service may be completed at any nonprofit agency. Students can also do service for elderly neighbors, people in need. It does not have to be at an agency. Students may not receive compensation for the service, such as you cannot get paid for it. And we will help make you aware of any service opportunities as they arise. Um, TOPS has we have a service learning page on Facebook, and you will see a place in Canvas where you can log in your hours. Any questions about service learning need to be directed to Miss Eubanks. Something else TOPS offers that is unique to schools is the chance to take a MOOC. If you decide to take 3 courses in any semester instead of 4, then you are given the chance to take a MOOC. That is a massive open online course. You must complete 1 per semester if you take 3 courses, and you choose which one you take. You can learn anything. For example, if there's a programming language that we don't offer, which right now we only offer, I think, 3 total in our programming classes. So if you want to learn something like Ruby or Python, you can take a MOOC to learn that. Now, you don't get credit for it. You just have, you only earn 3 credits a semester. But MOOCs look really good on your resume, and colleges are very excited to see that on a student's resume because you can get badges and certifications for them, and it's something really cool to do. If you have room in your schedule, I suggest doing this semester. So let's talk about state testing. State testing versus classroom testing. Now, in your courses in Canvas, you are going to receive tests. You're going to get tests in pretty much every course. And that's a test that like Miss Whedon will make, or Mr. Lamy, or Miss Eubanks. And you take the test and you take it online, just like you do the rest of your assignments. And, you score one way or the other on it, and you get a grade. State testing are the tests that the state requires you to take, and you have to take them in person. They used to be called TCAPs, or they were called gateways, and they were called TCAPs. At some point, they were called achievement tests, and now they're called end-of-course test or Tennessee Ready test. You will have a testing center that you have to go to. We have 4. One's in Bristol, one's in Knoxville, one's in Nashville, and one's in Memphis. And the subjects on which we test are Math 1B, Math 2B, Math 3B, English 1, English 2, English 3, U.S. History, Chemistry, and Biology. So if you're enrolled in any of those courses right now, you will take a test, a state test on it in in December. If you're enrolled in one of those courses in the spring, you will take it sometime late April or early May. We will notify you at least 1 month in advance of the test schedule. And parents, please review this closely. We have had students show up before to take world history tests, and world history does not have an end of course or Tennessee Ready test. It's U.S. history. You're also required to bring a valid photo ID every single time, even if we know you. It's just part of the rules. You can get a photo ID at your local DMV, or you can show something like a library card, something that has your face on it, and something that has your name and your face. A recent picture of you, not like when you were like 5 years old. So, let's look at this example schedule of Susie, the 9th grader. In the fall, she has Math 1A, Wellness, Freshman Experience, and Biology. So that means in December, she would have 1 end-of-course test, and that would be in Biology. Let's look at her spring schedule. She has Math 1B, English 1, Information Technology Foundations, and World History. That means in the spring, in late April or early May, she will have 2 tests, 1 in Math 1B and 1 in English 1. If you have any questions about state testing, please contact Lindsay Whedon, our testing coordinator. So let's talk about a few procedures here at TOPS, and that way you can know where to get help and how to get it. So who do you contact? So if you're having technical issues, just call the TOPS office. One of us, whoever answers the phone, will help you with those or get you to the right person who can. If you're having problems in a class or in a course, such as you don't understand an assignment or a link is broken or something like that, please contact your teacher. Now keep in mind, if that's a technical question, you need to contact the TOPS office. Hopefully that's not confusing. If you have questions about credit, schedule, or college and career, Ms. Settlemeyer will answer that. If you have personal concerns, please contact Ms. Settlemeyer or me. If you have questions about service learning, Ms. Eubanks. If you have questions about attendance, the TOPS office. And if you have questions about state testing, that would be either Ms. Whedon or me. So this is probably the most important slide out of all of these, because none of this matters if you're not successful with us. So I'm going to go, and I've got a video that's different than this about being successful at TOPS, and I will send that out when I send this. But let me just go over these points. First of all, the biggest killer of success at TOPS is procrastination. Students, procrastination will get you kicked out of school eventually because of all of the consequences from it. First of all, if you procrastinate, you're not doing your best. So you need to start your work on Monday or even Saturday or Sunday before. You need to check your email at least twice a week, even though I would recommend just checking when you bring up Canvas, bring up your email. Why not have them up all the time? Put it on your phone. Just make sure you're getting your emails. Follow the pacing guides in your courses. There's a suggested pacing for every single course you have. If you follow those, you will be successful, and you will have perfect attendance. Attend your teacher's office hours. Teachers have these for a reason. They're set aside so you know exactly when you can get help from them in person, meaning over video chat or over the phone or whatever you decide. And you can get help outside of those too, but those are set aside so they always happen. Don't put off subjects that are difficult for you. Do them first. Start them the first thing in the week. And that usually means you don't like something. So do what you don't like first, and that way all the stuff you love will be easy. And always ask for help. I don't know how many students I've encountered who have been afraid to ask questions because they don't want to seem like they're dumb. Please ask questions. You don't look dumb at all. You look like you're a conscientious, hardworking student, and you just need to know the information. And if you don't get it from what we provide, then you need to ask. So what expectations do we have of parents? I know other online schools require parents to put in attendance and things like that. We take more of a traditional high school approach towards parents. We want parents involved. We want them holding students accountable. We want them checking up on students, but they don't have to do anything in an official capacity. For parents, just like everybody else, communication is essential. We primarily communicate by email, but we also communicate by phone. So make sure that we have the most recent up-to-date phone number for you. I've noticed that hardly anybody answers their phone these days, and that's sad and frustrating at times. So make sure that we have the right phone number for you. Also, we have a Facebook parent group, and on that parent group, you can get a lot of questions answered, meet other TOPS parents, and get advice, people that have been with us since the very beginning. That's a great place. We have a lot of information on our TOPS website, such as how to access Canvas, PowerSchool, discipline policies, advice, special education, and our attendance procedure if you didn't understand it from before. So there's just a lot of great ways to keep updated and be involved. The Canvas access is the biggest one because that will allow you to see everything that your student sees in Canvas. So you can keep up with grades at the very, they're up to date to the last second, and you can see what assignments have been done and haven't been done and all of that good stuff. So just to briefly look at some of the technology that we use at TOPS. First of all, our website, that's the central hub of our school where you can find out everything you need to find out. It's at tops.education or tops.ninja or TennesseeOnlinePublicSchool.org if you want to type all of that. We also use Google Apps for education. That's where students have their email, and they have unlimited cloud storage there, so nobody should ever lose a paper ever. They have Google Docs, so they shouldn't have to go out and buy any fancy office software. It's all there. They get a YouTube channel, Hangouts, and many other features that you should explore because there's a ton in there. And I could do a 30-minute video just on Google Apps, and I may one day. if my voice will last that long. Power School is where all of the official stuff goes down. That's where your attendance will be located. That's also where your first 9 weeks grade and semester grade will be put in. So that's where you basically check your report card. So after Canvas is where your grades are all the time, but they will be recorded forever in Power School. So check that weekly for attendance, and then check that, when we tell you that your 9-week grades are out. They should not be a surprise to you. And Canvas is our school building. That's where you find your classes. That's at tops.instructure.com. And, they have a front page that's located on the syllabus with lots of information. You should read through that. Modules are where you go to access your course material, and you simply just go from the top to the bottom and look over here for where the due dates are. And that will tell you what's due that week. And it's also, if you have a parent account, which you should, you can check grades, and you will see the assignment name, when it's due, and if it's graded, how many points you have, and if it's not graded, it'll have a little icon placeholder there to tell you that you've done it. If you have any questions, I know this has been a long video, if you have any questions, just email me, Jason Horn. You can find my email on the website, and you probably already have it. Students can just start typing in Horn, Horne, in their mail, and it will automatically bring up my address. I hope this has been beneficial for you, and let me know if I can do anything for you at all. Have a great start to the semester. This has been Dr. Horn, and I'm signing off.